So, it's gonna freeze tonight or tomorrow night, one or the other. And our garden's pretty much done, so we're gonna go out, harvest whatever we can, and get it inside. And then we'll be able to basically pull up our tomato plants and our pumpkin plants, because we'll be done with our season with the little garden that we did.
Welcome to Hub City Homestead. My name is Ruth. Join me and our family as we raise our chickens, grow our garden, and try out all the things that make a homestead. We live on a small property, so we're going to do homesteading small.
These are my two helpers. Marin, why don't you pick all the little tomatoes on this plant? Okay. Get all of those red ones, Kaylee. So these are our Amish paste. And honestly, they're not quite ripe, so we're gonna have to let them sit a couple days. Yep, go ahead and put it in the bowl. These ended up being cherry or grape tomatoes. Yeah, look at that. It's windy because we have a storm coming in. So sorry for the wind. Yeah, go ahead and pick those. We'll put them in the pot into there. Maybe we'll make fried green tomatoes. I've never done that before. So yeah, you can just leave it in the garden. Kaylee, this yellow one right here, go ahead and pick it. We'll finish ripening. That is a little one. That's a berry tomato. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick all these green ones on this plant as well. Yeah, go ahead and put that one in the bucket. Those ones we'll put into a paper bag or a cardboard box, and we will let them ripen up.
I'll get this one and
yeah, go ahead and pick everything off that you can see. I know some of those are pretty little, but it's what we got. It's what we're gonna get. And so, you know, with the frost coming, these plants aren't gonna survive the next 3 days because we got 3 days of freezing nights. Thank you. And then over here we have these pumpkins. We let them sit a couple more days, and it looks like they're as done as they're gonna get. Oop, that one rolled away. So got that little one. And we got some greens and reds. Yeah, do you want to go cut it off for me? There's 2 of them over there. I need you to cut. Here's the scissors. Cut both of them off. Go 2 inches above the pumpkin.
Hey, I want to
cut them off.
I want to cut one off.
Okay. Justin, you want to do that one right there? And Kaylee can do the other one.
No.
Squeeze it hard. Do 2 hands. Do it 2 hands. There you go. Good job. Nice. And then one more. It's a little more green. Okay. Yeah, these ones, I'm pretty sure I got root rot on these plants. And I don't know. This plant just did not thrive at all. Okay. Very good. All right. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it is. It's so pretty. So this is this week's harvest of eggs so far. Some of it's from last week. Here's the pumpkins we harvested. A couple of them still have a little bit of ripening to do, but we'll be able to make that. These are our tomatoes. Maybe we'll try and do some fried green tomatoes. I don't know. We'll see. See if we could just get them to ripen up. And then our wonderful neighbor up the hill gave us some peaches. They look like apricots, but they are small peaches. A whole bunch of tomatoes. We're cooking some green beans over here for dinner that she gave us. And we've got a box of plums out in the garage that need a little bit more time. They're trying to harvest as much as they can too because freezing weather. It can't decide if it wants to be 100 degrees or 30 degrees. So there we go. Today we are going to be working on canning. I have never canned anything by myself in my life. When I was young, I helped my mom do some canning, though she never did any pressure canning. She only did hot water canning. So we're actually gonna, over the next couple videos, we're gonna do both. Today we're gonna talk about how you prep your canning pot, and we will get it all cleaned up and get it ready to go. And show you all the different parts of the canning pot that you need to pay attention to. I just had a birthday, asked everybody that would give me gifts for money so that I could buy a pressure canner. And so I was thrilled that I was able to be gifted so many wonderful monetary gifts from people in order to get my pressure canner. So I want to put a special shout out to my mother, Carolyn Thorpe, my mother-in-law, Betty Larson, my wonderful neighbor, Sheila Staker, who gave me tomatoes and peaches that we will be canning over the next few days, and just everybody who watches. I'm grateful that you're here. So to prep your pressure canner, I'm going to be talking about, this is a really simple pressure canner. This one doesn't have the gauge that tells you how much pressure it has in it. This is a simple one that comes with your pressure top that has rings on it to weight it down, and it only goes up to 15 pounds of pressure. If you need more than that, you're going to want to invest in a more expensive pressure canner. This one's a Presto. I bought it at Walmart, and it was like $78, something like that. And it's just a really basic, simple pressure canner. So I want to go over the basic parts of your pressure canner. Now, most pressure canners can also be used for hot water bath canning, and they have all the pieces that you need for that, though you will want to make sure you follow the instructions. With this particular pressure canner, I can do the hot water bath for half pint jars and pint jars, but I can't do quart jars in it for the just hot water bath canning. So we're going to talk about the different parts of this canner in particular, and you'll find there's many similar brands. So this is our 3-piece pressure regulator. This part is what regulates the pressure up here on the top of the can. Now, it's a 3-piece. That means it can do, it's got 2 metal weighted rings, and these metal weighted rings provide extra push down pressure so that it needs more pressure to push the steam or whatever out the top. So when you start with just this one, this is a 5-pound pressure regulator, and then to make it a 10-pound, you add 1 ring onto the top of that, and to make it a 15-pound, you have both rings on top. And so when it's ready to have the pressure regulator put on there, you just set that on top based on what you need to do. Yeah, so we'll talk about that when we actually do our peaches, and also when we do our tomatoes. Now, I won't be doing them on the tomatoes. The tomatoes I'm just going to do hot water bath with. The next part is the vent pipe. This is our vent pipe here on the top. This is where the steam and the pressure, the extra pressure, vents out. And very important, because if you don't have a vent, it's going to explode, and that's the last thing that you need in your house. So this is the air vent lock right here, and it serves the purpose of helping you know if the pressure is being maintained properly or not. The next part is a locking bracket. So you'll see here on the can, that's the locking bracket. So you slide your lid on there, and it actually connects to the vent lock here, the cover lock, and it locks your lid down so that the lid doesn't pop up and off. The next part is all of these little pieces. It's amazing how all these little pieces just create the most impressive little can. Because right here, this black ring, that is your sealing ring. If you don't have a proper seal, then it's not going to create the pressure that you need in order to to cook and to process your foods and kill that bacteria that's going to make the food go bad. This is your overpressure plug. And then we also have, this is your canning cooking rack. So this holds everything up off the bottom of the pot. You see these little bumps? This holds it up off the bottom of the pot so that nothing burns. This helps in the steaming process and all of that, so that the cans aren't sitting, or the jars aren't sitting directly on the heat of the pan that's sitting directly on the heat of your stove. So, the whole point of canning, pressure canning, is to remove bacteria and those things that could make you sick from preserved food. Now, there's things that you have to do with your canner before you can even do that. You want to make sure there's as little bacteria in your canning pot as possible before you start canning. So, there are instructions that will always come with your canner. The instructions for this one say to remove the ring, the sealing ring. And then what we do is we wash the lid with hot, soapy water. So we're going to wash this lid with hot, soapy water. Rinse it off. And then they tell you to check your vent. Now, you can see there's a little hole here. Goes all the way to the top here, and you're supposed to look through, and if you can see light through it, then it's not clogged. And that's something you got to be careful with when you're canning. Depending on what you're canning, it can cause bubbles and cause things to get caught up in there. And then we wash a pot. This is really simple. This is stuff that you think is common sense, but common sense is in short supply right now, and I don't always have it either. So we're going to get this washed and ready for doing our canning. Now it does come pre-greased. You want to be careful how much you scrub certain parts of it. That's one reason why you don't put the seal ring into the soapy water, is because there is grease on the sealing ring to help it, or is it just on the pot? Oh, maybe not on the sealing ring, but on the pot, on parts of the pot, to help it slide easier and to help it seat better. So, washed pot. The other thing you're going to want to make sure you wash thoroughly so that they're clean is your jars. I've got ball jars, I've got Kerr jars, you might even have some that say Mason on them. But these jars, it's good, you can run them through the dishwasher. And another thing that they recommend before you put anything in them is to get some hot water, set them with some hot water in them while you're preparing everything that you're going to cook. And then you dump the hot water out and put the stuff in. And what that does is that warms up your jar, as well as helps to kill some of the bacteria that's in it. You could pour boiling water into them, and that will kill a lot of bacteria and anything that may be on them when you first get them out. So it's important to have clean and sterilized jars. You'll also want to check for rings, if you have rings, and lids, because you're going to need lids, and you need unused lids. If they're used, they aren't going to be any good. They're not going to do a proper seal. I have a conundrum I'm going to have to look up, and I'll let you know what I find out on my next video, but I have unused lids that have not been used heated, but they were used for freezer jams. So I need to find out if I can use those as well, because they haven't been heated, but they were under some pressure as we froze them. So they might not be. It might not be something that will work anymore, and I'll have to make sure I get some more lids. So that's all you need to do. That's what you need in preparation for canning your fruits and vegetables. On our next video, I will be pressure canning peaches. And the video after that, I'm just gonna hot water bath can tomatoes and get some things preserved for my first time. So if I fail, you get to see it all on video. My name's Ruth. We're here at Hub City Homestead, and we're glad that you joined us. If you like what we're doing, subscribe. We've got lots more videos that are just as informative, if not more so, than this one. And we're glad that you've joined us. We hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.